Hi again and welcome to our lesson for today. As you can see, these are our learning outcomes for this lesson. The title of our lesson today is Presentation. Now let's see the new word. Slip. Slip. To move out of the correct position. Slip. Surface. Surface. A surface is the top layer of something or the outside of it. Surface. Piece. Piece. A piece of something is an amount of it that has been broken or cut off. Piece. Safe. Safe. Safe means free from harm or risk. Improve. Improve. To make something or someone better. Improve. It's time to answer the questions. Please read them carefully and then give me your answers. Number 1, source. Number 2, peace. Number 3, improve. Number 4, slept. Number 5, safe. Now, open your box on page 57. Activity 1, reading. Now you're going to read a student's presentation about earthquake. You have to answer the question, what is each paragraph about? Use the presentation notes to help you. Let's start. You are going to read the presentation now and match the title with the number, please. What to do? What is an earthquake? Where they happen? Let's check the answers. So, number 1, what is an earthquake? Number 2, where they happen? And number 3, what to do? The same page we have activity 2, speaking. Well, you are going to give a short presentation about one of these topics. Work with a partner to choose a topic. Now, you have to choose one topic: sandstorm, floods, tsunami, or volcanic eruptions. It's your choice. Okay, I hope you decide what to do. Now, activity 3, answer the questions about your topic to help you collect information for your presentation. Move to page 58. Now, you have to answer the questions in order to collect the needed information to prepare your presentation about your topic. Number 1, how or why does it happen? Number 2, where can it happen? Number 3, what the biggest one? What should people do? To help you get the answer for these questions, please video to collect more information.
Deadly natural disasters caught on video. Tsunami wave, Japan. Japan is still recovering from the impact of the savage, devastating tsunami that ravaged the northeastern part of the country in March of 2011 following a magnitude 9 earthquake. The tsunami, whose waves reached heights of up to 128 feet and traveled as far as 6 miles inland, resulted in approximately 16,000 deaths, mostly due to drowning, and about $300 billion in damages between the earthquake and the tsunami. In the aftermath, the Japanese government introduced a new tsunami warning system after their present one had underestimated the size of the blast. Fire tornado. Yes, fire tornadoes or fire whirls are a real, albeit rare, thing. They occur when hot, dry air rises rapidly out of the ground, thus forming vertical columns or chimneys before thinning out, cooling, and dissipating at higher altitudes. Although these whirls often come and go fairly quickly, they can do some serious damage, with temperatures within the vortex getting as high as 2,000 degrees. Their quick movement also creates a powerful, unpredictable, and largely unstoppable force of nature. Volcanic eruption, Papua New Guinea. It's an undeniably spectacular sight to see fiery lava spewing out of a daunting, impressive volcano. But the mesmerizing nature of the spectacle doesn't take away from the considerable damage that can be caused by a volcanic eruption. These explosive eruptions can alter the land and water for a vast expanse around a volcano and can create millions of tiny liquid droplets of sulfuric acid, with the potential to temporarily change the Earth's climate. The resulting ash clouds in the aftermath of an eruption can also be damaging to the air quality surrounding nearby communities. Hurricane Katrina. It's tough to recall a more destructive natural disaster within American borders than Hurricane Katrina touching down in New Orleans in 2005. The largest and third strongest hurricane ever recorded to make landfall on U.S. soil, Katrina reached Category 5 hurricane status with winds up to 175 miles per hour. It affected an estimated 15 million people, including 1,836 deaths, with the majority of those deaths being senior citizens unable to evacuate. The hurricane also left approximately 80% of New Orleans submerged in water, thanks to a storm surge resulting in waves that grew to 20 feet in height. Meteor attack, Russia. The meteor attack that hit the Chelyabinsk region in Russia on February 15, 2013 looked like something out of this world, and in a way, it was. Indeed, the 10-ton meteor, which entered the Earth's atmosphere at 15 to 20 kilometers per second, was a truly frightening sight. Once it hit, the meteor produced a bright flash of light intense enough to illuminate the sky and created a shockwave that set off car alarms and startled pets in a wide vicinity. While the meteor caused 1,200 injuries and resulted in millions in damages, there were miraculously no deaths reported. Typhoon Haiyan, Philippines. One of the strongest tropical cyclones in history hits parts of Southeast Asia, particularly the Philippines, in early November 2013. The massive typhoon, which reached speeds of up to 195 miles per hour, claimed over 6,300 lives in what was the deadliest natural disaster in the region in recorded history. Because it encountered very warm water temperatures along its path, it did not slow down immediately and thus was able to cause greater destruction than had it faded out quickly. Volcanic eruption, Mount Ontake. In the midst of Japan's peak hiking season in 2014, Mount Ontake presented the country's first fatal volcanic eruption in 23 years. With no significant earthquakes occurring prior to the eruption, there was little warning that prompted authorities to anticipate such an event, or that gave hikers near Mount Ontake's 10,000-foot summit cause for concern. Emergency helicopters managed to rescue the majority of the estimated 250 hikers climbing at the time. But even they couldn't prevent the 57 fatalities, as some wound up buried in ash. 2010 Haiti earthquake. The catastrophic 7.0 earthquake that struck Haiti on January 12, 2010 demonstrated both the sheer ferocity of Mother Nature and the inherent goodness of humankind. The deadly quake claimed approximately 160,000 victims and forced thousands upon thousands from their home in the impoverished nation. However, the aftermath saw relief efforts come rolling in from all across the globe as countries offered up funds and supplies while volunteers stepped up to aid in rescue efforts and medical support. Tsunami, Indian Ocean. One of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, the Indian Ocean tsunami hit on Boxing Day of 2004, at a time when many families were enjoying an exotic holiday vacation getaway. Thus, many amateur videos depicting the carnage of the tsunami wound up establishing the stark contrast between their idyllic surroundings and the horror that was manifesting itself off in the distance. Here you see terror reign as buildings are submerged, trees collapse, and the carefree enjoyment of a tropical vacation quickly turns to panic and fear. Earthquake, Nepal. Geophysicists and other experts had warned for decades that Nepal was highly vulnerable to a deadly earthquake, but it was still difficult to anticipate the destruction caused by magnitude 7.8 natural disaster known as the Gorkha earthquake. With aid pouring in from all over the globe, the region is still trying to recover from the massive blast that killed 8,000 and injured 18,000. Aid efforts were hindered when another deadly earthquake struck the area 17 days later, resulting in 200 deaths, 2,500 injuries, and tons of food, supplies, and other supports that failed to get delivered to some of the hundreds of thousands of displaced Nepali residents.
It's time for writing, but before you start writing, I'd like you to watch the following video to know how to organize your presentation. Please, let's listen.
Can you start your presentation now?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hi, guys. I'm Mr. Top Tips. Feeling nervous during your presentation is normal, but it can make your presentation looks bad. So, this time I'm gonna talk about some tips for a perfect presentation. The first tip is greeting to your audience. Always greet your audience before you start the presentation. Here are the examples. Now, let's move on to the second one. The second tip is about how to move from one topic to another. The following phrases are useful to help you move from one topic to another. Last but not least, it is always important to close the presentation in a good manner. So, the last tip is about closing. Remember to summarize your presentation in short sentences at the end of your presentation. Look at the examples here. That's the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You did very well, Tony. Good job.
As you can see, there are some tips you have to follow in order to have a perfect presentation. How can you introduce the topic? You can introduce your topic by using today I'm here to talk to you about. What I'm going to talk about today is I would like to take this opportunity to talk about. I'm delighted to be here today to tell you about. I want to make you a short presentation about. Now, how can you start? You can start by using, let me start with some general information on. Let me begin by explaining what, why, how. I'd like to give you some background information about. I think everybody has heard about, but hardly anyone knows a lot about. Now, how to move from one point to another. You can use these phrases. I'd now like to move on to the next part. This leads me to my next point, which is turning our attention now to. Let's now turn to. And at last and not least, how can you close or conclude your presentation? You can say, I'd like to conclude by, in conclusion, let me sum up my main points. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. It was a pleasure being here today. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thanks for your attention. Now the time has come to write. Write your presentation, then make notes to help you remember what to say. You're ready with your presentation, okay? Write or make some notes, like what is a or an, and you mention the topic that you are going to talk about, just to remind yourself. For example, you can say where they happen, after that what to do, and so on. Move to activity 5, please. It's speaking. Now, before you submit your presentation, please send it to one of your friends. Let your friend check whether you cover these points or not. In case you didn't cover any of these points, you have to do before sending it to me. Our last activity for today is speaking. Well, work in groups and take turns giving your presentation. While you listen, think of questions to ask your classmates about their topics. Inshallah, we'll do it next time when we meet. We'll play the hot seat. Get your questions ready for your friends to do. Thanks a lot, Sumaya, for helping me preparing that one. See you soon, inshallah.